Our next report gives you an idea about just why social media is the big villain in our lives. You could be thinking it could perhaps just be causing some amount of disturbance vis-a-vis your attention spans. But it's not just that. Delve deep and you'll know why social media addiction is just so dangerous. The negative impact of social media is frequently discussed due to several reasons, all of which are related to how pervasive and influential social media has become in modern society. Increased anxiety, depression. You don't even need research anymore. Just keep your phone away for 10 minutes and put your hand on your heart and tell yourself how you feel. Ask yourself that question. The answer would be that you do have a sense of FOMO and also a sense of anxiety. It's actually no secret that social media is making us anxious, nervous, and depressed. Fear of missing out. It's addictive in nature and also time wasting. Well, it's not you. It's not like you are getting addicted because there's something wrong with you. Social media platforms are designed to be addictive, using algorithms that promote endless scrolling. This can lead to a significant amount of time spent on these platforms, often at the expense of real-life interactions, productivity, and even physical health due to poor posture or lack of sleep. A spread of misinformation and fake news is a problem. Social media is a platform for rapid spread of information, wrong information, and fake news, which can lead to societal harm, confusion, and polarization. This is particularly dangerous in the context of public health, politics, and social issues. Also, as expected, the younger lot are more vulnerable. Polarization and echo chambers. Well, that happens so much. You get drowned in the noise there. The algorithms used by social media platforms often show users content that aligns with their existing beliefs, leading to echo chambers, where people are exposed only to viewpoints they agree with. This deepens political and ideological divides and can create more extreme views. Privacy issues and data security. Social media companies collect vast amounts of personal data, leading to concerns about user privacy, data breaches, and the misuse of personal information. This has sparked discussions about how social media impacts users' privacy and autonomy. Body image issues. The platforms like Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat that focus heavily on images and videos have been criticized for promoting unrealistic beauty standards. This can lead to body dissatisfaction, particularly among younger users who may compare themselves to influencers or celebrities. Impact on relationship and social media. Well, enough and more has been said. You'd be feeling it at your own home as well, that there is a sense of disconnect with your own people, with actual humans. The relationship that you're building is with your gadget, and that is deeply problematic. Australia's ban on social media for kids under the age of 16 has become the big talking point world over. How does one go about keeping kids away from social media? Is this a good initiative? Will it protect the vulnerable? Or could it become a well-meaning experiment with unintended consequences? Here's more. Australia has become the first country in the world to pass a landmark legislation to ban social media for kids under the age of 16. Well, if you are in India and a 16-year-old or below, you think, what the hell, what if this happens in India? That if you are addicted to social media. If you're a parent and you're worried about your children and their well-being, you think, oh, we wish this happens in India too. Well, definitely, the sweeping legislation has started a whole conversation about social media and the impact of social media on kids, especially the ones below 16 years of age.
Today I can announce that National Cabinet has endorsed my government's world-first decision to legislate 16 as the minimum age to use social media.
This move comes in the growing criticism against social media that they are designing their algorithms in such a way to addict young users. Overall, to addict users, there's cyberbullying, is inappropriate content that kids have access to, and this has become a growing problem. And this exactly is what led to the Australian government deciding on a complete ban for social media for kids under the age of 16, asking social media giants parents to comply. It's expected that by 2025, this rule is going to be implemented in letter and spirit in Australia.
Excessive usage of social media can have its own negative effect in varied ways on any child. Now, given the pervasive nature and easy access to smartphones, to social media, and the fact that we end up using it for various purposes, having ban as the only option cannot be the solution by its own self. We must recognize the importance of inculcating media literacy skills from a very young age in an age-appropriate way, coming in both from the parents and from the schools as a part of a child's growing up years.
Social media giants like Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, all of them have to comply with this particular ban, ensuring that children do not try to log in by using false name, a false verification, and that kids under the age of 16 are unable to log in to many of these social media platforms. Now, many people say that this is unfair. What about the rights of the kids to have access to information? What about their digital rights, which is so important at the end of the day, is what they are extremely concerned about, and hence these questions on whether a ban will work. Can a ban even be implemented? Whether the parents should not be doing more, and whether a legislation, a sweeping one of this kind, was necessary. Will this push children to dark web? Will it then encourage them to lie and do things in a clandestine fashion? Will this lead to then some kind of forgery, attempts to get into social media accounts or have social media accounts, have access to these social media accounts in a wrong way, fraudulently? That's the big question that's being asked by many people and by critics of this sweeping legislation that Australia has brought about. We asked parents and kids in India about what they think of ban on social media for children below the age of 16. Here's what they've had to say.
No, my kids don't have a social media account. And that is deliberate.
Even though he's 8.5, I'm happy that he watches television every Friday for an hour.
I try to involve them in a lot of free play, in a lot of outdoor activities. One of my kids, she is into painting and sculpting and working with the clay.
I do not have any social media account. My parents always said that it's my decision whether I wanted a social media account or not. But I focus on a lot of extracurriculars these days. So because of that, I don't really have time to use social media.
I have an account. I also have a screen time limit on how much I can use. So I won't call myself an addict.
When I was younger, I used to feel left out when my friends used to post stories. But as I've grown up, I've realized that those stories might just fade away, but the fun I'm having is still there.
Growing up years, हमारे खुद के experiences that I have told my son in the form of a story. So all that became very interesting for him. And that was one of the reasons why it just became very easy कि phone के बारे में नहीं पूछना, laptop पे क्या चल रहा है, कोई cartoon देखनी है. That was never an issue.
I get 1.5 hours of social media every day.
Recently, we got to know that Australia has banned social media for kids below 16 years of age. I think it's a brilliant step.
It's recently been banned in Australia for kids under 16, which I believe is a very good measure, as the lack of social media frees up a lot of time for us to focus on other activities that we enjoy, such as reading, writing, or anything that one might prefer.
Well, that brings us to the end of this edition of Health 360. We hope you enjoyed watching the show as much as we did, putting it together for you. You can find these reports and much more on health, wellness and fitness up on our website, that's indiatoday.in. You can download the app as well, and also on all of India Today's social media platforms: YouTube, Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. Until next time, take very good care of yourself. Bye for now.
Watching India Today.